Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for joining us for this Financial Inclusion Week this year. I'm Sahana Arun Kumar, Managing Partner at Amarante Consulting, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our panel discussion titled Digitizing Public Infrastructure for Inclusive Growth, the Case of Ethiopost. This session will explore how digitizing public infrastructure, particularly national postal networks, can drive inclusive growth and economic resilience. And I'm very excited to be joined by a distinguished panel of experts who've actually driven and are still driving this project. Please welcome with me Tigist Bekele, Chief Commercial Officer at Ethiopost, driving transformation and inclusive growth. We have John Samuel, Senior Consultant and Thought Leader at Amarante Consulting and former Postmaster General of India Post. We have Girum Fikadu, DFS Risk Manager at Ethiopost. And last but not the least, Ebaba Bella, DFS IT Manager at Ethiopost. Together, we'll unpack the strategy, the impact, and the lessons learned that can inform, we hope, our efforts across the Global South. And we encourage all of you to ask your questions. You have a small chat box there, and we'll be happy to have some time to look into those and also answer your questions. Thank you for being here. And let's dive right in. I'd like to start just by talking about what is digital public infrastructure. And we usually talk about three pillars, which is digital identity, an interoperable ID system to authenticate and recognize individuals, digital payments, fast, secure, inclusive payment rails, and data exchange, what kind of frameworks and how data can be shared securely and also with user consent. And I'm sure most of you in the room have heard of all these pillars before. We also wanted to leave you with a thought that DPI cuts across industries and across ministries. Of course, you have government, you have all the digital financial service providers or non-financial service providers, banks, telecom operators, other ICT players, payment infrastructures at a central level, and also other infrastructure and support ecosystem that's very important. And today we'll also hear from a postal operator, Ethiopost. And why should we digitize public infrastructure? I'm not sure anyone is asking that question, but let's go through why, right? Faster, efficient services, it's transparent, accountable, accessible to all. And I think that's what this community here is very interested in, accessible in a responsible way, data-driven decisions, and of course, cost savings. And so why are posts important to the economy, you may ask? Of course, they provide access to banking and digital services, especially in rural and underserved areas. They're usually present with their mandate to serve the public, usually present across the national territory. Local trust and reach, they're trusted, they're locally rooted institutions, they know their communities, they connect them, and they also connect government to the people. Innovation and resilience, they have been existing for over 150 years, and they enable hybrid models and digital infrastructure to come together in what I like to call a phygital infrastructure for inclusive development. And of course, they catalyze and help economic growth. They facilitate trade, payments, social service delivery, and so much more we'll hear today. And there is also a study by the Universal Postal Union that estimates that a country's annual GDP median could hypothetically be reduced by 7% in the absence of a postal infrastructure. So I want to leave you with that statistic. And we've put a couple of links at the bottom on some studies that we've done in Amarante on the posts and their contribution to the economy and the people. In this session, we'll talk about what Ethiopost has been driving, and Amarante had the opportunity and the pleasure to work with the Ethiopost team and leadership to help in strategy building, assisting in implementation across all fronts, even helping set up the organization for the DFS team, helping recruit the right team, and also technology specifications. We went up to the pilot, which was very exciting, and I'll leave the floor now to Tigist to help us see what they've built since then and what they have achieved since then. Over to you, Tigist. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sahana. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm very much delighted to join this panel to share Ethiopost transformation journey toward this digital financial service, and also how our strategic positioning has evolved and the key milestones we have achieved over the past 2 to 3 years. So just to give you a quick overview, as you can see on the slide, Ethiopost is a state-owned enterprise or designated postal operator with over a century of service connecting community, people, and businesses. So, and to do this, it comprises or it has its own more than 1,000 branches, and Ethiopost reached to 190 plus international destinations with a fleet of its own 300 and with a partnership 900. We have more than 2,000 employees and we own a real estate of 700. So this is all about Ethiopost, and with this background information, we can talk about how the idea of digital financial service evolved or came. So there was a corporate strategy that was introduced back in 2023, and this strategy focused on deepening and diversifying. So when we say deepen, it means to expand our network and reach, and also to build our capabilities and deploy new systems, embrace technology, and the like. And when we say diversify, basically we wanted or strategized to diversify to 4 basic industries. That's to government service, to financial service, and to logistics, and to e-commerce. So having set this strategic direction, we moved to understanding the markets. So, and then in that process, we identified that there is a large underserved or unserved population, especially in rural areas, with low or formal account ownership, with fragmented agency, and also with a number of or lots of digital literacy. So identifying all these gaps, it helped us actually to shape our value proposition into strategic positioning that is leveraging our trusted nationwide footprint as a digital conduit for financial and government services. And then having this more than 1,000 agent network, we repurpose or reposition the postal network as interoperable last mile platform or one-stop shop for finance, identification card, and also other government services. So maybe just to summarize our 3 years journey, this is how it started and where we are today. So back in 2023, as I said, there was a new corporate strategy introduced. Then following that launch, a comprehensive global and local market research was conducted. So with that, the DFS strategic blueprint was developed. And then just following that strategic blueprint, we made an exposure visit to benchmark best practices, especially in Asian and African countries. And then just getting back to our country with the knowledge that we gained and also the experience we gained from the exposure visit, we established the dedicated digital financial service department. And then just next to that, we started partnering with the financial service providers and also mobile network operators. Just next to that, we launched the pilot. That was actually 1 year ago. And then just seeing the success of that launch, we started expanding our network at national level. And then right now, the agent network management platform is underway, and this would really help us to grow more and also to serve our community more efficiently. So maybe if we need to talk about what this really effort or operation brought to us as of today, or the 2 years journey or operation, if we want to measure it or in terms of deliverables, it means that right now we have more than 290 digital financial service enabled branches, of which 154 of them are rural and 70 of them are semi-urban and 66 of them are urban. And right now we have 460 plus Ethiopost agencies, of which 55% of them are women. And if we talk about the number of transactions that we processed over the 2 years, is $500 million, worth of 1.6 million USD dollar. So this is actually really huge, and this really fueling economic activity especially in the underserved areas. So as an impact or a lesson, so the impact from this is that there was a surge of transaction. This definitely means that enhanced rural access or financial inclusivity was really practiced, and the female agent participation was really encouraging because 55% of them were driving the uptake. And as a key lesson from this journey, leveraging our trust or physical reach is really crucial, especially when we think about including or making those rural or underserved people be part of this financial exercise. And partnership really works than the traditional bank, because right now we are using our branch offices. So they have their own core business, and on top of that, they are also making these transactions. And as a key lesson again, when these agents are supported or when technology is impressed, the output is really great. And again, as an impact and as a lesson, there is also a MESO project. Actually, this project is led by Ethiopian federal government. And the whole point of this MESO initiative is toward this digital transformation or bringing all the government services under one platform. So currently there are about 47 MESOP centers that have already started operation. And the plan is to introduce or launch these centers across Ethiopia, so that an individual or a customer can go in one MESOP center and can get all the government services from one place. So all the government services are integrated through system. So in each MESOP center, Ethiopost is taking the advantage of embracing this DFS, is entering into the centers and playing its pivotal role, both by providing its core service. On top of that, it's also playing a pivotal role by facilitating digital transactions. So as a next step, we have a plan of scaling these outlets. By the end of 2026, we have a plan of reaching the agent branches to 3,000. Currently, we're at 1,000. And we also have a plan of deploying agent network management system. And also we have a plan of expanding or the range of services that we are providing, not only cash in, cash out, and other payment services, but we have a plan of expanding our use cases. So maybe this is just to show you how we've been actually making ready our branches for the service, especially in the rural area. So the look and feel is really good. People can go to this place and get the service they want. So they see the Ethiopost logo there. So since Ethiopost has been serving the community for more than a century, it has already built a good trust so that people can go to these centers and get the DFS service without any doubt. So this is just to show you what it looks like. So maybe as a summary, I would say that this journey really wasn't easy, even if we talk about it in minutes. The journey wasn't really easy, especially had it not been with the support of the development partners, financial service providers, and also mobile network operators, the technology companies, the consulting firms, regulators, ministries. They all have played their great role to help us reach here. And we hope that this support in all forms will continue in our next journey too. Yeah, thank you so much. So over to you, Sahana.
Thank you so much, Tigist. I wanted to, clap while you were talking, but there was no icon to do that. But it's really interesting to see, how the journey started and some of those figures and impact that you're making today. Maybe I will open the floor to questions to you first, Tigist. The journey is beautiful, the potential is there, the impact that's being made is quite significant, and so much more to be done, right, for a country as the size of Ethiopia. Could you tell us a bit what the challenges were or what lessons you've learned? And that may help, inspire or help some of the people in the audience thinking through similar approaches now that you've explained what you've done.
Okay, thank you again, Sana, for those questions. So maybe as a main challenge, of course, there are a number of challenges, both internally and externally. But I would like to focus more on the external part. So especially, as I said, the major problem we're facing right now is having no agent networks management system. Especially when we talk about interoperability, this system plays really a crucial role. So in that regard, we've been trying to get that system over the past 2 years, but we still couldn't have it. So this is our major challenge or problem. If we could have that platform in place, we would definitely go beyond what we are doing right now, because the market demand is really huge. The potential is huge, especially when it's coined with Ethiopost experience, the thread that we built, the mandate that we have, and everything. The potential really is huge, just because of having this technology support in place. Our movement is really limited. So that's the first challenge that we are having right now. And the other challenge that we have faced is literacy gap, and also the social engineering part, even if they have their own level of degree. But I would say we're more focusing on the rural areas, but the big lesson that we learned from this journey is that even people in the urban area, they do have a literacy gap. Even there are underserved people in the urban area. So the literacy gap is really huge. Even when we launched this service, we were setting up a help team, a desk, so that they can guide people a step-by-step process, what they should do to open an account, to move to or to make cash in, cash out, the step that they should follow, how they should operate their telephone or device. So the literacy gap is also another challenge we've faced over this past years. Yeah. So
And
maybe.
Mhm.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, please.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so you also mentioned about the lesson that we've learned from this process. So the biggest lesson is that, as I said, the potential is huge. People really need to have financial inclusivity. So if they can have any trusted party, they are really willing to work with and also to be part of this financial process. And the focus shouldn't only be in rural area, as I said, even the urban community, they also need to be supported with this technology, with this process and everything. So yeah, that's the lessons that we've got from this process.
Very interesting. And then how do you cater to external dynamics as well, right? Especially literacy and also training when you talk about technology. So very, very valid aspects. Maybe that brings, also a bit of focus on the risk and how do you manage this. So maybe I turn to Giram as a risk manager. Giram, can you tell us a bit, your learnings from your role, and maybe some of your takeaways through the journey so far?
Thank you, Sana. Thank you, Sana. As a DFS risk manager at Ethiopost, my role is centered on designing and implementing robust risk management strategy for our DFS agency service operation and agent network management platform as well. So, what stands out to me is how Ethiopost has evolved from traditional logistic institution into a digitally enabled public infrastructure platform. We have built a comprehensive DFS risk management framework that covers agent management, liquidity, fraud, financial, operational, strategic, and compliance risk, which is fully aligned with the National Bank of Ethiopia directives and the global standards as well. This has allowed us to scale securely while maintaining public trust as well. So I have also the privilege to leading the development of different manuals and the protocols like dispute resolution, anti-money laundering, counter-finance, terrorism, KYC, incident reporting, and the like. So this help us to ensure the agencies are equipped not just with tools but also safeguards us. So as Tigist already mentioned, we have more than 219 Ethiopost active DFS outlets. So we have started providing DFS operations. Me and my DFS teammates are delivering training to our agents on financial inclusion, DFS products and services, risk management, and agents risk management, effective liquidity management, and also there is a permissible and a prohibited agent activities that is written under the National Bank of Ethiopia. So we also focus on digital literacy as previously mentioned already. So including how agents can effectively use each financial service providers, mobile wallets, and reporting of suspicious transactions to protect our consumers and end users as well. So we are also developed or implemented reconciliation tool with development organizations and consulting firms. So this will help us our agents to use for daily operations continuously. The DFS team is supporting them by providing different assistance with agent activation, KYC issues, technical guidance, how they are using the mobile wallets and the like in our rural or urban areas. So this is the main thing. And Ethiopost is also providing the necessary equipment like mobile device, internet accesses for our agents as well. So these are the major things we have done. And one highlight is our pilot implementation across multiple regions. We mapped business process mapping with Amarante Consulting team. So this helps us supported our agent onboarding. We also integrated NID printing delivery services via Ethiopost movable agents. So which is significantly increasing foot traffic and helps base of identity finance gap. We collaboratively also work with different organizations and FSCPs to expand our agent network sustainability. So this along with exposure visit to Uganda with Amarante team give us valuable insights on regional best practice. They affirmed that Ethiopost is not just catching up, but it is also setting the pace of inclusive digital transformation. Over to you, Sana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Girum. That's a lot of process and thought and responsibility going into the curation of this DFS unit and business within Ethiopost. I was reading some of the chats in the live discussion, and yes, why do we partner? What do we bring as value, and then what do we drive as Ethiopost, right? So there's some things we can partner on, with banks or telecom operators, FSPs, and then there's some things that we drive, as Tigistu well explained. You are present where others are not, and that physical infrastructure can be used and leveraged with the right risks management mechanisms and processes to drive this growth, right? Thanks for that, Girum. I want to come to Abeba, because no digitization is complete without technology. And Tigis, we also heard the challenges that you presented. Abeba, can you tell us a little bit on the tech journey in setting this up for Ethiopost, and any highlights, takeaways you want to share?
Okay, thank you, Shana. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So it is the core our transformation. Ethiopia's journey is about leveraging rural area outlets, our 1,000 post offices, and converting into a digital public infrastructure access point. It is journey is modernization from paper ledger to the platform. The DFS tech journey is three key phases, and the first one is of the foundation digitization or internal modernization. This is a focus area where migrating the core postal services, logistic services from manual process to digitized system. The key technology is robust for core postal systems and integrating, implementing ERP, CRM, and working with Ethiopian scientific society, which is implementing to the digital address code. So the first phase is establishing the necessary internal digital discipline, which is required to participate in interoperable national digital public infrastructure. The second one is, as earlier mentioned by Tickets, this is agent network management platform or interoperability, which is the focus building technology layer as that allow us to offer services on behalf of the financial institution. Here, the key technology is deploy the agent network management platform. This platform is connect our agent to multiple financial institutions. So the other one is a standardized transaction process and manage liquidity and manage several agents in this platform. So the DPI link for this platform is interoperability, meaning which is Ethiopost agent serve a customer for different banks and different financial institutions. The third one is that the third phase is the data exchange and API integration. Basically, this one is focused on leveraging our unique transaction and transaction data to address credit barriers for financial excluded. So the key technology is developing secure API that integrate with agent network management platform and external credit bureau or financial partners. So specifically focus on these, the micro, small and medium enterprise that are integrated with the e-commerce, Ethiopost e-commerce platform. So such a kind of data transaction or a data record is necessary for data sharing. So DPI link for this phase is it allows financial institution with explicit consent of the micro, small, and medium enterprise that utilize this transaction history as alternative credit score data.
Thank you.
So
Abeba,
the other,
sorry to cut you off, Abeba, but we have just 2 minutes left. And I just want to give John a chance to speak as well, because I wanted him to come in and just give a global postal sector view. I'm so sorry, the time just went so fast.
all right.
But thank you very much for your contribution, and we have contact details on the next slide if people want to get in touch with us. We're also celebrating World Post Day tomorrow, 151 years of the postal sector in existence. But I want to give it to John. Please, John, just to share your views on the postal sector as a whole, modernization, and what a post can do for a country. Thank you.
Tigis made a beautiful statement at the end of her presentation. She said, it takes a whole village to raise a child. I would also say that it takes a whole post office to transform a nation, to provide financial inclusion to the whole society. In a rapidly changing world of Industry 5.0, post offices hold untapped potential to close financial access gaps and connect communities to the global economy. By design, post offices across the world have a large reach and a very close personal touch with the people. Look at the India Post. We have 155,000 post offices touching almost every person across every village. That gives us a huge advantage in terms of the financial inclusion by leveraging the financial services attached to each of the post offices and networking them through the appropriate technology. Similar is the case, I would say, for Japan Post or Korea Post, which have made tremendous inroads in terms of the post office and the economic prosperity of the nation. I would say the post is no longer what it was, and it is going through a period of profound change. Gone are the days when the post office was primarily focusing upon the mail services, and today it's moving huge inroads towards postal finance and other services. World Bank says this way, let me read it for you. Given their widespread presence in rural and poor areas, post offices can play a leading role in advancing financial inclusion. Absolutely true that post offices, when they are adapting to the evolving market dynamics, it signals key opportunities for the digital transformation, I would say. Digitizing the postal network through partnerships will mean three important things. I would call them 3 T's. Number one, a trusted network, a large network that is available to bring the financial services, financial inclusion to everyone in the country. Secondly, a technology that is relevant and modern. Post office cannot operate in vacuum as a physical infrastructure, but it requires a digital infrastructure. This is where we require partners, business partners, we require partnership with the government, we require partnership with the private sector, we require partnership with the international organizations, whereby the post offices can have the right kind of technology and the right kind of infrastructure. The third, I would say, it requires a transformation structure and culture. If these 3 T's, trusted network, technology that is relevant and modern, and the transformational culture and structure, if they are brought in various postal systems across the world, I think the world will be in a better place. This is where I would say the post office can play a huge role in the transformation of the society and the nation. Thank you.
About how important the postal modernization is for emerging markets, especially where infrastructure is just getting up to get into access via digitization. And the theme for this year's World Postal Day is Post for People, Local Service, Global Reach. Tigis talked about how many countries they're connected to, etc. So we'd like to welcome the FIW community to celebrate this day together. It's tomorrow. And as we celebrate Financial Inclusion Week, we'd like you to think about the post. I would like to thank Ethiopost very much for their time and this awesome collaboration. For me personally, to have worked by your side was a real pleasure and very much a learning experience. But what you're building and what we worked out as blueprint in the beginning is very precious, and we really hope that this session has served as an inspiration for some of others to think through these dynamics of digitizing physical public infrastructure. Thank you so much, everyone.